Okay, everybody, what is up? It is me. Now I gotta see. Yep, okay, it is. Sorry about that. I'll probably cut that out. Now here's a game that I found. It's called My Father's Long Long Legs, and I played a little bit of it. Nothing really happened except a lot of reading. So let's get into this right away. It's gonna be a lot of reading, and so get used to my voice, hopefully. My father lived in the let's try that again. My father lived on the long southern edge of a certain Midwestern industrial city in an old house, only enough that the basement still had a dirt floor. So, like, the big letters you click. See? It's not yet old enough to openly question a parent's behavior, but certainly old enough to recognize its oddness when my father began digging. Lots of digging. I retain a single clear memory of the time the situation became alarming. My father took sunlight. Like, he leaves the sunlight basically forever. I'm going to skim over this because I've done it before, and there's a lot of reading involved. I'm sitting at the bottom of the wooden stairs that led down to our basement. Ahead in the dimness stands my father, up to his waist in the hole. Still in his dark blue uniform from the factory, skin and fabric blackened by the hot breath of machinery and further smudged now by the damp earth. I watch my father with the satisfaction of a child who sees in a parent a well of limitless capability. Upstairs, my mother called out that dinner's done. My father takes one last shovel of earth, turns to the side of the excavation, basically goes upstairs, very long legs, right past me. Alright. He's always a tall, angular man, and remaining pictures of him suggest that to this day I can clearly conjure the marvelous image of my father's long legs striding over me as he emerged. Yep, that's the name of the game, I knew. Alright, now this is where it branches off into other things. So apart from him, there were three of us. My mother, my younger brother, and me. I'm going to go mom, brother, me. That's what I did when I messed up the recording. There are many things I did not understand about my mother. She first found my father attractive. She admitted to me many years later because of how unusual he was. What did I do? That was weird. He came to the Midwestern industrial town and secured a job at the factory where my mother was working. Though a practical man. Excuse me, sorry about that. Though a practical man, he read constantly, victoriously, and subjects rating from entering repair to philosophy, a habit instilled in. I'm too stupid to realize any of this is. He had claimed by his own parents. This was my father ever said that his family would be beyond us. Any further inquisity. What's inquisity? I don't know. Mother theorized that he once had run away from home. Okay. Whatever his reasons for leaving his family behind, my father did not wait long before beginning a new one. That's good, I guess. I was born a few months after my parents were married. So they got married, had me, I guess. I'm beautiful. Okay. Within a few years, my father made enough money that my mother could stay home and watch over me, and not too long after that, my brother. Then one night, when my brother, perhaps a year old father, came home, pulled a brand new shovel from the back of his pickup truck, and descended into the basement where he began to dig. So now the digging begins. At first, my mother... Voice crack. Oh, God. There's going to be a lot of those if this involves a lot of reading. At first, he told my mother that he was preparing to put down a cement floor, suggesting a prelude to full or practical renovation of the house. As a child, the movements of adults were still largely mysterious to me, but I do not realize the blah, 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 circumstances of which my mother's motive. Untrue. Whoa. Nor do I know exactly what transpired. My father told me that they must go to the basement to discuss the matter closer to its source. For after the door shut behind them, it was me and my brother alone in the house. I don't like being alone in the house. My brother cried most of the night while I lay in my own bed, pillows pressed to my ears. The next day, my mother reappeared, quietly preparing our meals, and then locked herself in her bedroom shortly before father returned home, and he's commenced digging. My father, for his part, stopped sleeping in the bedroom with her, instead of taking to the basement, a decision which, considered with the first signs of terrible Metamorphism. Ooh, big words. Don't know them. The changes were slow but noticeable. Father began to grow paler. By the first time the factory closed, he could spend the whole day in the basement, and he was as white as chalk. That is whiter than me, and I am very white. Perhaps it is this general evidence of where the change in skin tone, and a supplement in big word. That made him look taller, so I think, like, I'm gonna use text here. Whatever he did made him look taller. As if his height had increased in proportion to the depth of his project in the basement. So, like, the deeper he gets, the taller he gets. That's how deep does he go? He's been digging for a while. Meanwhile, my mother put my brother into preschool and sent me off to a latchkey program where she worked to support us. Wow. So she became darker and smaller. Probably because she's actually out in the light. We're creeping up on the 10-minute mark here, which I'm going to have to cut it soon. But I forgot about that. That scared me. My father dug uninterruptedly in the basement for at least a decade. So a decade, he's just digging and digging and digging and digging. That's just so much digging. My father dug uninterruptedly in the basement for a decade. And once he started high school, he did not even leave the basement to join us for dinner. Then my mother left him. Whoa. That's different from the other one. That one, like, unless, yeah, because it goes like instantly dark here, and then like slowly went dark. Father was significantly involved in his life's task that there was no need to replay the arguments from my childhood. Whatever desire he had to keep us home with apparently had fallen away, lost in the depths of a pit. That's a big pit. I don't know, mother seemed to physically decompress, to become less bowed. She spoke more, laughed more, she had friends and lovers. That's good for her. Good for her. We had not seen my father after all we left. Okay. On the day we left for good, he did not even come out of the basement, though by that point it was questionable how easily he could get through the doorway. So tall he had grown. Oh God. So, like, he's so tall he could barely come out of the doorway apparently now. It was not until many years later that my brother suggested we pay a return visit to our father's house. Needless to say, my brother and I had different experiences of our own early life. Alright, now I'm going to cut this episode here, as we will go to the brother next episode. I'll see you later.